You gave my life to me. Set me free. Set me free. Fuck, I always remember the first bit, and then I was gonna sing this whole song, but I fucked up. I forgot. Do you know that song?
Yes.
Who's it by?
I have no idea.
It's a band called Bread.
Bread?
Bread.
Like a loaf of bread.
Yes. Okay, the first time I heard it was on Beau's Afraid.
Yeah.
You know, it's towards the end when he goes to the house, his mother's house. Oh, sorry for spoilers. Well, it's not really a spoiler. The plot of the movie is that he's going to his mother's house. Oh, sorry that the plot happened, dickheads. Anyway, he gets to his mother's house, and then the intercom plays a song.
Yeah.
And this song plays.
Yeah.
I've been listening to it ever since. I added it to my rotation. I like it a lot.
Ah, nice.
Anyway, the name of the show is Politics. Although you can't laugh. I'm leaving a nice gap, so alright, the name of the show is Politics. Although I call it Politrix, and the title of this episode is Saw X. My name is Presh.
And I'm Ty.
And are you familiar with the Boston accent?
I'm from Boston.
Yeah. Well, my impression of a Boston accent is Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting. Right? Yeah. I'm thinking of and they're also very racist. So I'm thinking of a xenophobic Boston who's against the Navi. Anyway, Saw X reads like Sawks. And in Boston, their main baseball team is the Red Sox. Yeah. So they just refer to them as the Sox. So every time I read Saw X, I'm like, oh, Sox! Go Sox! And they're like, hey, go home, Avatar. That's when I watched the Avatar movie, the second one. I watched Good Will Hunting.
At
roughly the same within a couple of weeks, and I just started thinking, hey, go home now, V. Hey, fuck you, you think you're so blue, you think you're so cool, yeah, guess what, fuck you, pal. But yes, I don't think they would say Navi, they would say go home, Avatar. Anyway, the cleanup from last week. So I couldn't remember the context, but I brought up a Secret 7 famous 5 style group that was also written by Enid Blyton. Yeah. Was this in the main feed or the commentary? I'm pretty sure it's main feed. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have. Yeah. While I'm okay, never mind. Leave that.
Okay.
Let me say it.
Oh no.
A few weeks ago, I was saying I do the cleanup later. Yeah. I edit, then I clean up later. Yes. During the edit this week, I was just I wrote this as I was editing. Right. I paused the edit and then I wrote.
I see.
Yeah.
I'm seeing.
Anyway.
Okay, cool.
So their name is the 5 Find Outers.
Wow, what a creative name.
Right. I also said that had a homeless guy as a friend. Yeah. He's actually just the policeman's nephew. Oh. He's described as a ragamuffin. Oh. Okay.
What does that mean?
So I don't know either. I read this as a child. Yeah. And I never thought to find out what ragamuffin means. Right? Yeah. Right. But I googled that word and it means a person, typically a child, in ragged, dirty clothes. Oh. Right? Okay. And on the Wikipedia for the 5 Find Outers, it says that kid wasn't allowed to sit and eat with the other kids. Wow. He ate in the kitchen with the cook.
That's classism.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He's lower class. They are middle to upper class. So they make him eat with the cook.
That's kind of rude.
It's kind of fucked, right? He also had a really thick accent. Which is another signifier of lower class. Yeah. Because, even now, the people in London, they have, posh accents. Yeah. And then people in the north, in Manchester, Liverpool, they have, thick. Yeah. And Newcastle, there's a bunch of places where they have thick accents. Yeah. Anyway, the next thing is I was mentioning the Spectre last week. Yes. Right? I couldn't remember if he was God's wrath or vengeance. So he is God's wrath.
Confirmed.
I also said that there was a previous version of him. Yes. And by that I mean there was another character who was God's wrath. Yeah. But then that guy got out of control, so God replaced him with the Spectre. Right. That character's name was Eclipso. Okay. Right? the way they portray this difference between them is that the Spectre is out for vengeance and Eclipso is out for revenge.
Right.
And I don't really understand the difference between those, so I also Googled that, right?
Okay.
It says, revenge is the act of seeking retribution for yourself. So if somebody does something against you, you try to get revenge.
Right, yeah.
Right. Avenge is when you're doing it on behalf of someone else.
Okay.
So, like, in the first Avengers, he's like, well, if we can't save the world, we'll damn as well avenge it.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
They're doing it on behalf of the rest of the world.
Yeah, right.
And then vengeance is the actual punishment or retribution, rather than the act of getting it.
Oh. Okay, so, like, I guess venge is the root word.
Yeah.
Which is like...
I take it like this. If bad things happen to Eclipso, he'll go and fuck them up.
Yeah.
Well, the Spectre will set up a situation where they will get their comeuppance.
Oh.
That's what I kind of took from this definition. Anyway, it's not important. This is just cleanup. Then I said that there was some sort of teen drama on an island where the kids don't remember getting there and the stars don't match any constellations or patterns.
Yes.
That was called Tower Prep.
Okay.
It ran for 1 season in 2010. And the thing is, nobody talks about the show, right? It seems like it's only me and maybe like 2 or 3 of the actors that remember the show.
That is wild.
Even the producers probably don't remember. And I didn't remember this, but all the students had powers.
Okay.
I thought it was just like they were regular students, but there's like a superhero kind of twist to this. But again, you only ran for 1 season, so...
Yeah, you don't really...
The thing is, I wanted to rewatch it, right?
Yeah.
But it's not streaming anyway. This thing, it's lost to time. But anyway, it was created by Paul Dini. Have you heard that name?
No.
He's one of the co-creators, he's a writer on Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, okay.
And he was one of the co-creators of Harley Quinn.
Oh, right, okay.
If you remember, well, I don't know if you know this, but Harley Quinn is an invention of the TV show. She didn't come from the comics. She was integrated into the comics after.
Yeah.
You know, she was so beloved on Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, do you have any cleanup?
Nope, not this week.
Alright, let's get into the news. And
Alright.
I only have 2 news stories, but they're 2 kind of hectic stories.
Okay.
So the first one is Israel-Palestine.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
Do you know what happened?
Vaguely. It's like, as far as I know, both of them kind of like have...
Alright, stop.
Okay.
Enough of this.
Okay.
Let me just...
Okay.
Let me give like a little bit of backstory.
Right, okay.
So, we've spoken about this many times, right?
Yes.
But essentially, thousands of years ago, Israel was the homeland of the Jewish people.
Yes.
And of course, over the course of time, Jewish people moved away.
Yes.
And, like, if I don't know the entire history, but there were like, like conquerings and unconquerings, and other people conquered. And,
yeah. Right, yeah.
Right. So, by like, the turn of the century,
yeah,
it had become like a multicultural place.
Yeah. Right.
So there were Christians, there were Muslims, there were Jews.
Okay.
But
yeah, the Abrahamic religions.
Yes, but the majority were Muslims.
Yes.
Well, they're all Arabs, but a big portion of them were Muslims.
Yes. Right.
After World War I, a movement called Zionism springs up.
Yes.
And the goal is to create a Jewish homeland once again.
Yes.
Right? And this gains a lot of traction during World War II.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Because of the atrocities committed, right? A number of Jewish people started moving to Israel.
Right. Yeah.
So, and like a lot of right-wing anti-Semites support this.
Support them getting out of their own country.
Yes. Yeah. Essentially, their whole thing is like, the Jews go into a country and ruin that country.
Yeah.
So their idea is if they're like corralled off into their own country, they won't destroy the Christian world as they as like right wingers put it, right?
Yeah, right.
So where am I now? After World War II, the United Nations partitioned the country into 2 states.
Okay.
Palestine for the Arabs, again, who are mainly Muslims.
Yeah.
And Israel for the Jews.
Right.
Since then, there's been conflict, with Israel annexing a lot of land from the Palestinians.
Okay.
And I don't know at what date specifically, but at some point, Palestine becomes an apartheid state under the rule of Israel.
Oh, okay.
We've mentioned this.
Yeah. I
don't know when it happened precisely, but at some point it does happen.
Yeah.
Did you think it was from the beginning?
Yeah.
Like over the course of time, it...
okay,
because remember, it's two states.
Yeah.
Then Israel is like, oh, let's just take this.
Yeah.
And let's take this. Then let's take this, to the point where...
It becomes sort of majority share.
Right. Palestine is sometimes referred to as the world's largest open-air prison.
Damn.
Right?
Yeah.
The Israeli military liberally and regularly murder Palestinian children.
Yeah.
You see, like, these videos of a small kid. They'll throw, like, a rock at a tank going past.
Yeah.
And, like, bullets will just start firing on children.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if I point out that this is Nazi behavior, people get mad. Right? You have right-wingers like Ben Shapiro who say stuff like, oh, wow, accusing Jews of being Nazis. You know, do you know who the Nazis killed? You know, they say stuff like that, right?
All right, yeah.
Once again, the right-wing will weaponize identity politics when it suits them.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I'll use the generic term and say that the Israeli government are fascists.
Yeah, close enough.
Right?
Yeah.
The story from this week is that Hamas were essentially the military wing of a Palestinian party.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hamas is the party, and then they just have a
military wing. Yeah.
Right? Launched a surprise attack on Israel.
Oh. Combining
gunmen breaching security barriers and a barrage of rockets fired from Gaza. Was launched at dawn during the Jewish holiday of Simchat Torah.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
And the international community is treating this like 9/11.
Okay.
And by that, I don't mean that, you know, they're both tragedies. Like, after 9/11, people are like, why did they do this?
Yeah.
And it's like this big question that everyone's confused by.
Yeah.
When it's pretty simple. The American government were fucking with the Middle East for many years, and that was revenge for how they fucked up so many countries. Like the first Gulf War in the 90s brings to mind, you know.
Wasn't it vengeance?
Whatever, man.
Okay, yeah.
Who cares?
I'm just making sure because we defined the words earlier.
I understood we gave a proper definition, but in terms of conversation, you just say like, oh, they avenged them, or they had revenge, or whatever, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Right. Like I said, the international community is treating this like 9/11 as if who knows why the Palestinians shot rockets at Gaza? Who knows this? We need Sherlock Holmes on the case. We need both Sherlock Holmes and Poirot on the case to find out this mystery of why the Palestinians have some sort of disdain towards the Israelis. You know, it's a big mystery. Who's to say? Who's to say? Anyway, but you get like a lot of condemnation from around people in support of Israel who never spoke out while Israel was murdering Palestinian children. Yeah. Right? Yeah. There's a lot of hypocrisy there. Yeah. But I think I've mentioned this before. Hypocrisy is not an argument. Yeah. Right? At the end of the day, this is still violence. Yeah. But I want to provide a sense of scale. Okay. You know, like a guy who steals bread at the shop. Yeah. Is not the same as a guy stealing from like a pension fund. Yeah. And like poor people and old people don't have money to to live, right? There's a huge difference. We need some sort of scale to say, all right, both were stealing, but one is clearly worse, a million times worse than the other, right? Because there's some people who are like, oh, well, if a homeless man has a sandwich and there's another homeless guy and that first homeless guy doesn't give him half the sandwich, that's greed. And that's the same thing as like a billionaire hoarding mountains of money, you know. Those are the same. It's greed, you know. A billionaire who could feed hundreds of homeless men. The point being, some people, they hear the word violence and they're like, oh, it's the same. Yeah. We need some sort of scale. Yeah. And I have this thing here. Oh, since 2008, 6,407 Palestinians have been killed. That's a lot. In the same time, 308 Israelis have been killed. Is that specifically due to this, like, to the conflict? Or is it just like, you know, 308 Israelis have died of, like, old age?
and
no, it's not.
Oh, okay.
It's murdered, not they died.
Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's murders.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So again, 6,407 versus 308.
Jeez.
In terms of injuries, the Palestinians are 152,560 Palestinians have been injured, and 6,307 Israelis were injured. Right? So if you combine the deaths and injuries for the Israelis, it's only a little bit more than all the deaths for the Palestinians, right? This is excluding the 152,000 that are injured.
That's insanity.
So again, we need some sort of scale.
Yeah.
The Israelis have been raining hellfire on Palestinians for years.
That is true.
Again, right? Your thoughts so far?
The thing with this is, I don't know. So yes, the Palestinians do have a right to retaliate, because of course they've been attacked for so long. Although I don't know about doing it on a Jewish holiday. That's like my only kind of...
Why does that matter?
Because it's like
okay, would the attack be fine if it was just a regular day?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. I think it's the same. It really doesn't matter about holidays, right? But I'm going to sound like a liberal centrist right now.
Yeah. Okay.
But I do believe violence is not the answer.
Well, yeah.
Violence on both sides, right? Because in this attack that happened a few days ago, Jewish children were killed.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that's...
And I would, if I wasn't the person I was, you could point out hypocrisy and be like, well, Palestinian children were killed, so it's, it's only fair.
Yeah.
But I still think children being killed, full stop, is...
Children in any given scenario being killed.
So once again, I'm going to go back to what I said about Ukraine, Russia.
Yes.
I want peace.
Yeah.
Any violence on both sides. And again, saying both sides implies that, it's equal.
Yeah.
Once again, I need to stress that the Israelis have done far more harm.
Yeah. Right? A little bit, yeah.
And the Palestinians are being condemned by the national community right now, right?
Yeah.
And that's... I keep going to this point of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
Nobody condemned the Israeli attacks on Palestine, but everybody's up in arms about the Palestinians retaliating.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, but again, hypocrisy is not an argument. My solution would be to build a new town far away.
Oh, okay.
Like, there's lots of big patches of open place in like northern Africa, which is close to Egypt and other Arab countries.
Yeah.
That now that's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
To build up a whole new like city, town, etc. Right?
Yeah.
But that's the only way I can think of a solution. Both sides are so entrenched in this. Like I said, it's been going on since after World War II, so roughly the 1940s.
Yeah.
It's approaching less than 100 years.
Yeah.
Well, in like 17 years it'll be 100, so it's like 80 something years now of fighting.
Yeah.
People have lost too much. People, they've lost children, they've lost family members, they watched them being gunned down in front of them, right?
Yeah. Take
the Palestinians, move them to New Palestine, right?
I think it's a good idea in theory. It's just that I don't think people would want to.
Yes,
move.
Of course. Yeah. I understand that totally. Yeah. You never ever want to leave your home. This is your home.
Yeah.
Right? You want to stand and fight.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people are dying.
Yeah.
So, what would you rather have? Your home or your family?
Family.
Right? It's people. It's not a piece of land that you are.
Yeah. Home is where the heart is.
Yes. So that's my solution. And the thing is, like, who's going to pay for it? America sends $40 billion. Let me say that again. Or let me explain. I didn't say million with a M. I said billion.
With a B.
$40 billion every year to Israel. Tax-free.
What?
And they give it in support of defense. Quote-unquote defense. Right? Which the Israeli government uses to bolster their military and attack more Palestinians.
Yeah.
That 40 billion every year could do a lot for a new Palestine, right?
You could build like a whole new country.
Again, that's just 1 year.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe the Israelis should also pay for it.
Yeah.
Your problem is allegedly that the Palestinians are attacking you and you're just defending yourself.
Yeah.
So if you could pay for these people to move away, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Right?
Get them out of here.
Well, that's kind of rude. But yes, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying, yeah.
That being said,
yes,
it's easy for me to say this thousands of kilometers away, right?
Yeah.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched my child die in front of me, gunned down in front of me.
Yeah.
I haven't watched family members being bombed.
Yeah.
I haven't, I haven't experienced the trauma these people have been through. So it's very easy for me to say, oh, well, just do this. It's so easy. When, they've been fighting for their lives for so many years.
Yeah.
It's a very tense and tough situation.
Yeah.
So, once again, I just hope that there's some people pursuing for peace.
Yeah.
Because clearly the Israeli government are never going to stop.
Yeah,
they want to ethnically cleanse this group of people. Right?
Yeah.
And again, people will say, like, oh, you're calling them Nazis. Yes, I am.
Yeah.
They're trying to kill these people. Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have any other thoughts?
No.
Right. And again, it's like I said, it sounds like a very liberal centrist position.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like,
I just want peace.
Yeah. Like, theoretically, if you're choosing sides, the Palestinians are morally correct to fight back.
Yes.
We speak about apartheid.
Yes.
In South Africa, the majority are black people.
Yes.
And during apartheid, the white minority was in charge.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, in Israel, Palestine, the Israelis are the majority.
Oh.
So there's no, like, you can't vote them out. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? It's the only solution I could come up with is move them away.
Yeah.
It's about people, it's not about a place.
Yeah.
But again, I don't understand the culture. Maybe they're very, like, committed to their home, etc. I have no insight. It's like I said, it's very tough.
Yeah, it is.
All right, can we move on?
Yeah.
Do you know who Rishi Sunak is?
The Prime Minister of the UK.
Yes.
Yeah.
I spoke about him in the solo episode.
Oh. Yeah.
Scolded your mom.
Yes.
Your mom was so happy when this guy was fucking elected, bro. Anyway, so he gave a speech where he said, quote, "And we shouldn't get bullied into believing that people can be any sex they want to be. They can't. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. That's just common sense." To a standing ovation from the crowd.
Okay.
And I agree. That's the end of the sentence. And here's a new sentence. They're not changing into any sex they want to be. They are changing into their gender identity.
Yes.
So I'm standing in full support of Rishi Sunak. I agree that they're not just changing into any sex. Okay, but anyway, obviously this piece of shit is trying to be transphobic, right?
Yes, right.
That little misreading aside. Right? And before I address Sunak, if there's genuinely people who don't understand, you're trying to seek new information, right?
Yes, right.
I thought I could shed some light on it.
Yeah.
First, I want to ask you, what is the difference between sex and gender?
Sex is like your physical makeup, and gender is what you identify as.
All right. The World Health Organization summarizes the difference between sex and gender in the following way.
Okay.
Sex refers to the different biological and physiological characteristics of males and females, such as reproductive organs, chromosomes, and hormones, etc. Right? Okay. So it's your physical body.
Yeah.
Gender refers to the socially constructed characteristics of women and men, such as norms, roles, and relationships between groups of women and men. It varies from society to society and can be changed. The concept of gender includes 5 important elements: relational, hierarchical, historical, contextual, and institutional. While most people are born either male or female, they are taught appropriate norms and behaviors, including how they should interact with others of the same or opposite sex within households, communities, and workplaces. When individuals or groups do not, quote-unquote, fit established gender norms, they often face stigma, discriminatory practices, or social exclusion, all of which adversely affect health.
Okay.
Essentially, your gender is in your brain.
Yeah.
Well, not really in your brain. Gender is a performance that society teaches you.
Okay.
It says this is how men behave, this is how women behave. You have to conform to one of these groups.
Yeah, right.
While sex refers to the actual organs.
Yes.
So you may have been born with the sex of a man.
Yes.
But your gender is a woman.
Yeah.
And then you get surgery to change your sex in realignment with your gender.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Yeah, right.
Okay, so now this is me speaking.
Okay.
The process of transitioning is about changing your sex to be in alignment with your gender identity. I should have read further. If you are born with sex organs that match your gender identity, this is known as cisgender.
Right.
So if you're still not satisfied or want a more technical or academic explanation, I would point you to the works of Judith Butler.
Okay.
Who's a gender studies scholar, and in particular the book Gender Trouble, Feminism and the Subversion of Identity from 1990.
Okay.
Which is like a... what's the word? Like a...
It's about...
Rosetta Stone for this topic.
Okay, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, what's the big book about... I don't know, give me a topic.
Religion. That's a terrible one.
Because there's a few.
Yeah.
Okay, say Christianity. There's the Bible.
Yeah.
That's the most important book in that topic.
Yeah.
Not most important. It's like what all of it stems from.
Yeah.
Similarly, I don't want to say transgenderism comes from this book because
that would be...
There's a lot of transgender people who existed before that.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely.
I'm saying this book put it into words.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I don't want to say it's the first, but it's one of the first that like takes the subject and then goes through it in a wide scope.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Okay.
Right? So if you want more information, read this book, read the technical writing of Judith Butler, etc.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, cool.
This is just an interaction I had with someone.
Okay.
It's anecdotal evidence, but I thought I'd share anyway, right?
Okay.
So I got into an argument with a right-winger I know in real life, and he said something to the effect of, when I was a kid, I was taught that there's only male and female. I don't believe that there's such a thing as transgender. To which I replied, when I was a kid, I learned how to solve for X. I don't believe there's such a thing as advanced calculus. Because I never learned about it. It just doesn't exist if I didn't learn about it when I was in grade 5. You know, that's just how it works.
Wish I could take that to my maths classes.
The point being, kids are kind of dumb.
Yeah.
You give them the basics to interpret the world, and as you get older, you learn new things.
Yeah.
Or realize a topic is much more complex than initially thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
These people are using children's books to say, oh, there's only men and women, instead of reading academic research into transgenderism and just gender as a whole.
Yeah.
Right? Now, on to Rishi Sunak.
Yes.
And I know you're listening, Sunak. Right? You are a rat.
Of course. Yes.
And a lowly piece of filth.
Okay.
The day you die will be a day of celebration.
Okay.
Your children probably hate you and will spit on your grave when you die.
Yeah.
I wish cunts like him and the people who clap for him get taken out by a big fucking bomb.
Okay.
That's really my... Those are my thoughts. Do you have any other news? Like I said, 2 kind of hectic stories.
Yeah. But I knew this was going to happen. So I have found a feel-good story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know, actually a few weeks ago we said we should end with a feel-good story every week. But alright, yeah.
Yeah, so I found a story of a book club in California.
Wait, stop. Sorry.
Okay.
I have another story I was just thinking about now, and I want to end with the positive one, right?
Okay, yeah.
So Elon Musk this week banned somebody for calling him a pedophile.
Yes, right? He did.
Yeah. Which, do you remember the cave debacle?
Yes.
So these kids were trapped in a cave.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm going to build this machine that's going to
get them out of the cave
or something. And then like these guys who are swimmers just swam in and saved the kids. And Elon Musk called the guy who saved those kids a pedo.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And that guy took him to court.
Yeah.
And Musk argued that pedo is just a word people use in South Africa to refer to people. So now, Mr. Free Speech himself, somebody called him a pedophile, and they were banned.
Yeah.
So yeah, free speech for the win.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So anyway, this is a book club in California. But they are a procrastinating book club. So even though they meet weekly in a public library in Venice, Los Angeles, they finished their first book after 28 years.
All right.
So it's taken them 28 years.
Is this a feel-good story?
Well, yeah.
It's pretty sad.
No, it's...
Are these people illiterate? What's going on? No. They learned every, letter.
No, they're just... Their whole thing is
they read a word, they went home.
Pretty much, yeah.
But, on the one hand, that's pathetic. You guys are awful. Jesus Christ. But on the other hand, I assume it's more to do with, loneliness.
Yeah.
You just want to kind of meet up.
Yeah.
But you don't really like books. So it's just an excuse for them to meet up and hang out, I assume.
Yeah, probably.
And but honestly, one book over 28 years, that's some sick shit, man. That's some... name your thing another thing. Because... Yeah.
Name it like a library hangout or something. Don't call it a book club.
Yeah. Or just hang out with friends. What the fuck? Anyway, is that it?
Yeah.
Can we go into the context of the movie?
Yeah.
So like the past couple of weeks, I can't provide too much context for the Saw franchise.
Oh no.
He's right. As I've stated previously, until 2 years ago, I avoided horror movies.
Oh.
So this is actually the first ever Saw film that I've seen.
Right, okay.
As we all know, the 10th movie in the franchise is the perfect place to hop on.
Oh yeah,
that's it's like a bus station. Like 1 and 10 are the 2 bus stations. You either jump on one of those. Right. And a lot of people are upset that it's called Saw X.
Okay.
Because that's including the spin-off.
Yes, yeah.
There was a movie 2 years ago called Spiral, the Book of Saw.
Yeah.
Which... people don't think that should be included in the Saw mainline franchise. Fast X.
Yeah.
Fast X was the 11th movie in the Fast and Furious franchise, and they excluded
Hobbs and Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, which
right.
is not part of the mainline universe, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
Okay.
Right. That being said, I do have a cultural awareness of the Saw franchise.
Okay.
As I understand it, yes, this guy kills people, but he gives them an opportunity at redemption.
Yes.
Right. For example, if you're a thief, he'll make you cut your hand off.
Yeah.
Once again, I've never seen these movies, so that's just an example I thought of.
Right. Yeah.
And I wrote this before I watched the movie. Right.
Okay. Yeah.
But very early on, he sees a janitor stealing something or trying to steal something.
Yeah.
And he imagines a trap that smashes his fingers and pulls out his eyeballs.
Yeah.
What I was thinking of was far less sadistic and brutal than what this guy does. He pulled his fucking eyes out. Because that was the poster of the tubes coming out of his eyes.
Yeah.
I thought that would be like the main kill or something like that.
Yeah.
This was just a dream sequence.
Yeah, it was just... he just had some fun thinking about a trap.
Yeah. He also has a little puppet that acts as his avatar.
Okay.
So when I was a kid, I thought that was just a mask, and Jigsaw was under that mask. But yes,
he's just a very small person.
I don't know at what point, but I later on I realized Tobin Bell is the murderer, not the puppet. The puppet was innocent. The puppet was being framed. The puppet was one of his first victims. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm gonna have to spoil the Saw sequels.
Oh no!
But at some point, Jigsaw dies, and you find out that he has an accomplice that is running his pre-planned games.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And that accomplice is the woman who helps him in this movie.
Yes.
But that's a twist in one of the sequels. When he dies, we find out that he had an assistant.
Yes.
Again, I just googled this. I've never seen the story, but yeah.
Okay.
The original. Oh, sorry. This movie is an in-betweenquel.
Yes.
Between Saw 1 and Saw 2.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The original Saw movie was directed and co-written by James Wan. Have you heard that name before?
No.
All right. He's one of the biggest modern horror directors.
Oh.
Right. He obviously created Saw.
Yeah. Right.
But although he's had very little involvement in the franchise since.
Okay.
He also wrote Saw 3.
Okay.
But since then, he's just been the executive producer, which...
Right. Okay.
You know, producer is a very, weird term.
Yeah.
Some producers, provide the financing. Some producers are, they're very hands-on with the movie. So, producer can mean anything.
He could do literally anything.
Right.
Yeah.
I think his name is there because he's the creator of the Saw franchise.
Yeah, right.
That's why he just has the producer credit.
He's the original producer.
Yeah. Anyway, he directed Insidious, The Conjuring, and Malignant. Have you ever heard of those?
I've heard of The Conjuring.
The others?
Not
So,
really.
I haven't seen Conjuring and Insidious, but I have seen Malignant.
Okay.
Which was a fun kind of horror movie.
A fun horror movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of bizarre.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm more aware of him through his non-horror movies, right?
Okay.
He directed Fast and Furious 7
Oh.
and Aquaman.
Okay. Right.
Now, do you remember there's a great little horror sequence in Aquaman?
Yeah.
Where he goes into the deep and we see these creatures that are
Yeah. Oh.
So it's the same as, Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
He was a horror director. He made The Evil Dead, etc. And then he made Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And in Spider-Man 2, there's another horror sequence where I think Doc Ock, they assume is dead. And they have him on the table.
Yeah.
And then those claws come to life.
Yeah.
That's another fucking scary movie. Right? So, horror movie directors doing superhero stuff,
It's pretty cool.
James Gunn used to do horror movies, I'm pretty sure. And he made the Guardians movies.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
There's a history of horror movie directors going into Superman.
Yeah.
Superhero movies. Yeah.
Yes.
Although James Gunn is directing Superman.
So both work.
Yeah. Another name I want to mention is Lee Winnell.
Okay.
He co-wrote the first Saw and is the co-creator of the franchise with Wan.
Okay.
And they frequent collaborators, right?
Right. Okay.
He also had very little involvement with Saw after the first, I think, 2.
Okay.
I don't know. Right? Wan and Winnell. Okay. Winnell also wrote the script for the Insidious movies.
Okay. Yeah.
And I think he may have directed some of the Insidious movies. Don't quote me on that.
I am going to quote you on that.
Fuck.
Got you there.
Tomorrow's newspaper. He's since become a director in his own right.
Right.
And I have seen 2 of his movies, which is Upgrade.
Okay.
Do you know what Upgrade is?
Yeah, vaguely.
It's very similar to Venom.
Yeah.
We mentioned this
a while ago, yeah.
But Upgrade is like this little chip in his brain that kind of takes over his body in the same way the symbiote takes over Venom's body.
Yeah, right.
And they both came out in 2018, and the actor,
yeah,
Logan Marshall Green, looks exactly like Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
They were like, there's these movies that come out in pairs.
Yeah.
We mentioned White House Down and
Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah. Those are 2 very similar movies that came out the same year.
Yeah, right.
Red Planet and... I can't remember. In the 90s, there were these 2 movies about meteorites coming to Earth. And astronauts had to save the day.
Oh, nice.
Yes, but this happens quite a lot where there's parallel thinking. Where 2 very similar movies come out in the same year.
Yeah.
Or it could just be...
coincidence.
No, you hear a rumor that somebody's making this type of movie.
Oh,
and you're like, oh, that's a great idea. I should make my own movie similarly. Right. The last person I want to talk about is Kevin Groitert.
Okay.
He was the editor on the first 5 Saw movies.
That's okay.
He then directed Saw 6, and I think he edited 6 as well.
Okay.
And then he made Saw 3D, which is the 7th Saw movie.
Right. Yeah.
So I'd like to point out to the Saw fans.
The Saw fans.
That they're upset about Spiral, the Book of Saw.
Yes.
How is the 7th Saw movie called Saw 3D? look at yourself. Look at the franchise you adore. Saw 3D shouldn't be included in the...
Obviously, the D stands for 2.5. Because it's 3 times... No, that doesn't make sense. The D stands for like... The D stands for 2.3 recurring.
Alright.
Got it that time.
So he had no involvement in the next 2. And he was brought back to direct and edit Saw X.
Oh,
it? Saw X.
Socks.
I looked at his filmography and I haven't seen any of his other movies, but
yeah,
he mainly works as an editor.
Okay, yeah. So he just like directs every now and then, but
I think he's exclusively directed Saw movies.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now my thoughts on the movie.
Okay.
I have the heading "My Thoughts," but it's both our thoughts.
Is it?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, it probably is.
Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I've got a couple thoughts.
So, like I mentioned, the imaginary torture sequence.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I thought this was going on for way too long. Because, like, every finger, crack. Like, I would have assumed, like, all at once, bang. All his fingers are gone, right?
Yeah.
But when the eyes start getting pulled out, I'm like, this is great. This is so sick.
Yeah.
In both meanings of the word. It's sick as in, this is disgusting, and sick as in, yo, this
is cool.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I love Saw.
This also demonstrates his morals to new viewers. So, following on from that, I thought this was very accessible to non-Saw fans.
Yeah, that is true.
Right. Like I said, they do small things like this that demonstrates his morals. Like, that guy was trying to steal something, so he'll break his fingers and take his eyes out because...
I think it's either or.
What do you mean?
Like, if he breaks his fingers, then his eyes don't come out. But if he doesn't break his fingers, then...
What?
Isn't that like the whole thing? Where it's like, the will to survive?
Yeah.
So he can either break all of his fingers.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Saw's morals is that if he sees you doing something bad, he'll put you in a trap. That's what I was trying to say, right?
Right, okay, yeah.
Which makes him more like an angel of vengeance, like the Spectre.
Yeah.
Because later we see him offer his victims a chance at redemption.
Yeah, right.
So... the villains of this movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I don't really like to rewrite movies, even though I've done it before on this podcast, and I'm going to be doing it right now. But I think this could have been, very good social commentary.
Okay.
That it's the big pharma people who are the crooks.
Oh yeah.
At the beginning, I thought that's what they were setting up. Like he would go to this place.
Yeah.
As they were curing him, like a big pharma, like strike team would come in and kill all the people, and he'd survive, and then he'd go on like a revenge mission.
Yeah. Right.
Right. But then it turns out that these people are.
But then wouldn't he be avenging them?
Yeah, but they're the good people, right?
Yeah, right.
And in the scenario I've created, they were genuinely trying to help this guy with cancer.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying it would have been better social commentary if the farmer people were the bad guys.
Yeah, that is true.
Full stop. But at the same time, Big Pharma is like an ambiguous mess.
Yeah.
You have like pharmacists at the lower level. You're not going to kill a pharmacist. They're not the ones who are setting the prices and stuff and fuck you over.
Yeah.
Then there's like bureaucrats who are doing the paperwork. They're also not fuck you over. They just
do paperwork.
They're filing paperwork.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you not arrest? How do you kidnap and torture all the like big pharma executives?
Yeah.
Yeah. They would like within a day or two, people would know they were gone. It's stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I understand why a group of like scammers are better targets for this type of movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, they fucked him over, let me get them back.
Yeah.
It's like, how can I say it? It's more concrete. These are the people who fucked you over, get them.
Yeah.
Whereas Big Pharma is more, like I said, it's like a big hulking mess. You don't know where to start. You know? Right. Also they ask him his occupation, and he says civil engineer and architect, right?
Yeah.
Which obviously explains how he knows how to make all these contraptions.
Yeah.
I just assumed he was a creative guy. He's like And he worked as like a banker during the day, and this is how he gets his kicks during the night. But this makes a whole lot more sense. Which again speaks to the being accessible for new viewers.
Yeah.
Again, because I've never seen a Saw movie, so this was very helpful in making me understand his character.
Yeah.
So again, just a small thing.
Yeah, it's just, a little.
It's little, but it adds so much detail for you as a new viewer.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He captures somebody, right?
Yeah.
And when he walks into the room, that guy says, "John, it was you. Why?" I just burst out into laughter, bro. You fucked him over and stole his money. Wait, did they steal like any body parts?
Not from him.
Yeah, I think it was just like they pretended to do some surgery, they knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then they stole his money.
Yeah.
I would have thought like they'd steal like his kidney or something.
Yeah.
You know, like let's make some profit on this.
Well, he was still like partially awake during the procedure.
At the first part. But then they give him some gas and he goes.
Yeah.
So once the gas comes...
Oh, then they steal his kidneys.
Steal his kidney? Well, whatever, yeah. Well, that's the thing. I don't know, is the cancer fuck you up the rest of his body? So then you can't, like, take his kidney because there's cancer in the kidney.
Well, he's got brain cancer. So I guess he's fine.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of his body is probably fine. It's just his brain.
Anyway,
although
but yes, that really made me laugh. Why? Anyway, another line he says, "This is not retribution. This is a reawakening."
Yeah.
I also really like his voice.
Yeah.
Even just his normal speaking voice. It's so like sinister, but like
in a nice way.
That's the thing. It's like a comfortable sinister.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but like when he's speaking, I'm like, oh, we ain't go dance.
Yeah.
Because like he's the good guy of this movie.
Yeah.
Right?
That was crazy.
So it's like, yeah, you want a serial killer on your team. You'd prefer him not to be on the other team. Yeah.
Would be nice to have him around, like just in case. But yeah.
Yes, sorry. It leads back to his idea of redemption.
Yeah.
That he's not gonna kill you. He's gonna put you through a test.
Yeah.
And then hopefully from that test you will learn to make a change in your life.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
You might have to change with like a peg leg or something, but you know, you'll change.
Right. So I'm gonna go through the various kills in this movie.
Okay. Sounds good.
Should we list them or should we just give thoughts on them?
I think I would say we do list, thought, like that. Does that make sense?
Alright, let's just give our thoughts and then give the list at the end.
Okay, yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So the first one is obviously the dream sequence of him pulling the eyes out after breaking his fingers.
Yeah.
Again, super fucked up.
Yeah.
And I thought, alright, this is the most fucked up it can get.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Well, alright, okay.
Okay, yeah.
The next one is there's a guy undoing a bomb by cutting through his arms.
Yes, yeah.
I don't want to be rude, but that doesn't seem so hectic.
No, it's not as hectic as the other stuff. Like if it was by itself, I'd be like, oh shit, that's...
And the thing is, he got out of it.
Yeah.
So we didn't see the payoff of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? The thing is, everyone else died, so we saw the end. We didn't see the end of this guy. We just saw his hand getting cut up a bit.
Yeah. So then there was that lady who like
she cut her legs.
Yeah, she had like a bone saw thing.
Yeah.
Or what? It's like string, but it's like a bone saw string thing.
Yeah, no wire.
Yeah, basically.
Well, that's the thing I see. Like a hitman will come up behind you and they'll well, that's the thing. I think they just cut the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they like...
Sometimes people will take their head off.
Yeah.
Which... a lot of work. I wouldn't be me, dog. If the person's dead, what are we doing here?
Although you could like string it, and then if they like run into it, they just...
I'm pretty sure I saw that in a movie.
Yeah.
With somebody.
It's definitely happened in a movie.
Fucking, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Clothesline. At its finest.
Clothesline. A piano clothesline.
Yeah.
The guy cutting a piece of his brain.
Yeah.
And then the ancient Inca mask burns his face.
Yeah.
Okay. Spoiler alert, but that's the sickest thing in this movie.
I don't know.
Alright. The next one is shooting radiation into that girl.
Yeah.
Which is also fucked up.
Yeah.
That, because I thought it would be like that thing would burn her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, it's radiation.
Yeah. It's some heavy shit.
That's hectic.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna burn you. I'm gonna give you skin cancer.
Yeah.
Severe skin cancer. Well, she died, right?
Yeah, she died.
She couldn't.
Well, no, the lady stepped on her. The blonde lady.
Yes. She wanted to. Saul wanted to take her to hospital.
Yeah.
And then the blonde lady killed her.
Yeah.
All right. Then the last one is trapping them both in a room with poison to make them choose.
Yeah, that was a nice one. I enjoyed that one.
Should we include the blood thing?
The blood.
Because it didn't happen to a victim; it happened to him.
Yeah.
So,
in theory, we could count it as a trap, but it's not really like a death. It's not.
Well, the other one wasn't a death where he disarmed the bomb.
Yeah.
So I think we should.
Yeah, sure.
But it wasn't a trap in the sense that the person in the trap would die. It was a trap to make them overconfident and then get trapped in the.
It's
the
a
poison.
twist trap.
Yeah. So
it traps the viewer as well.
I think we should add it.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right.
Yeah.
So, do you know what waterboarding is?
Yes.
So, I don't know if it started during the Iraq War, but as a consequence of that, there's a place called Guantanamo Bay.
Yes.
Where they put all the suspected terrorists.
Yes.
And again, not terrorists, suspected.
Suspected, yes.
So, if they just didn't like the look of you, they'll send you to Guantanamo. But in Guantanamo, they tortured people.
Yeah.
And one of the things is called waterboarding.
Yes.
Now, do you know a guy named Christopher Hitchens?
No.
So he was a writer. Well, his main thing was
Iraq.
Well, no.
The war.
No, anti-God.
Oh, anti-God.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's an atheist.
Right, okay.
And he gets into like debates with theologists in the various faiths.
Right, okay.
That's what he was famous for. That's what I was trying to say.
Right, okay.
But he provided commentary on other stuff.
Okay.
And one of the things he said was, waterboarding is bullshit. How can you be tortured by that? It's just water being splashed on your face. You go for a shower every day. You go swimming in a pool, right? So as a test.
Oh, please tell me.
He had him water.
Yes.
Right. So they put him on this like thing where he like lays back.
Yeah.
They put a face cloth over his face.
Yeah.
And they take a small bottle of water and like they turn and like halfway through the bottle of water, he's like, no. These people had like gallons of water poured on them, to torture them.
Yeah.
This guy had half a bottle. And he's like, I'm out. Right. Yeah, we should assume the American military knows how to fuck people out.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Right. But anyway, this is bloodboarding.
Yes.
Fucking imagine like what water does to you.
Yeah.
And then blood is obviously
it's a lot.
They
thicker.
say blood is thicker than water. Yeah. And so was that human blood?
I
don't know why I think this, but for whatever reason, I assume animals have thicker blood than humans.
I think it's like pig blood, if I were to guess. Because he's got like the pig mask.
Yeah.
So I would assume that it's like that's a
the
real
pig
pig
mask.
Well, yeah.
Who has a pig mask?
There's like
his friend.
Yeah. No. Yeah. His friend. So like.
Yeah, I didn't really see what it looked like, but yeah. Okay.
I thought it was a pig.
Okay.
Like
pigs, so where did they get the pigs together?
I don't know.
Yeah, you're not thinking of the science of it. Yeah. Well, I guess they could have just abducted some pigs in the neighborhood.
I think pig blood is.
Or maybe like dogs or like any animals they could find.
Maybe.
That was a lot of fucking blood.
Yeah,
that can't be one pig. There has to be like a couple of cows.
Maybe an elephant or two.
Yeah. Well, one elephant. I can't imagine.
I don't know. How much blood do elephants have?
That's true. I didn't think of that. I just thought of the size and I was like, yeah. Alright, anyway. So now let's list them.
Right.
The number one most hectic one.
I would say the lady cutting off her legs.
Okay. For me, number one, he cuts a piece of his brain. Okay. And then the Inca mask burns him. Yeah. Fuck. That is the most hectic thing. Because, like, cutting your brain. I can't imagine something more fucked than cutting your brain, bro. And willingly opening a piece of your head up.
Yeah.
I would have just said, yeah, I'm dead. It's fine, dog. Just put the Inca mask and burn me. It's fine.
I'll just die. It's okay.
Dude, again, I thought Saw was about redemption. Cutting a piece of your head. I guess because they cut a piece of his head, right?
Yeah.
During the surgery.
Yeah, they cut in the back of his head, yeah. Well, they said they cut in the back of his head, and they showed him that little...
Yeah.
The medical clip.
Like, it didn't look like blood, which is red. That thing looked black.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. I don't know if that's cancer or they're trying to say this is an evil man. There's just something inside him that's like, you know.
Honestly, I thought it was just like the effects were just done terribly. And like it ended up looking very strange.
Well, because blood is dark.
Yeah.
You don't realize because when it like comes out, it looks like red.
Well.
But like.
Yeah, mine's like purple.
Jesus Christ. Listeners, we have a scoop. Aliens are real. He's my co-host. He infiltrated this podcast with his purple blood. The fuck?
I think I've got like a lot of iron or something. So it's like it's a deep red, like almost maroon.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I'm podcasting with a demon.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're still going through the list.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Right.
Number 1 was Inca mask. Number 2 for me.
Okay.
The pulling the eyes out with the those tubes.
Well,
I see why they use that for the poster, because that's such a striking image.
But it didn't really happen. So does it count?
Well, nothing in this movie actually happened. So does any of it count?
Shit, you're right. Okay, fine.
Right, so that's what's your number 2?
Okay, wait, no, then the lady cutting off her legs is number 2, because the eyes is the number 1 for me.
Oh, why were you complaining about that then?
What?
The eyes.
No.
I thought you were saying put it lower.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I was just like, I was confused. Okay, I didn't think it was...
Your first one is pulling the eyes. Second one is the lady cutting her legs.
Yeah.
Alright. My number 3 is the radiation.
Okay.
Because that's also fucked.
Yeah.
It's like... I've never even thought about that. You know, I thought about like... There's these articles that are like, you shouldn't put your laptop like on your lap.
Yeah.
Because like the radiation from the laptop will fry your balls. That's the most thought I've ever put into radiation effect, right?
It's
like okay, there's an Ari Aster short film,
right,
where his idea was, okay, he was having a chat with a friend, talking about social taboos.
Yes.
Then the discussion went to, what are things that aren't even taboos because nobody's even thought of them.
Oh, yeah.
And he makes this fucked up movie. Again, it's a short film. It's not like a
crazy long, but yeah.
Where the story is that the son rapes his father.
Oh.
Right?
Oh.
Because it's like, you don't even consider that as a possibility. You're like, what the fuck? So again, it's not a taboo because nobody even considered that idea, right? Similarly, I've never thought about radiating somebody to death. That thought never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But yes, not as brutal as the others, but still, just the idea of that. Fucked. Yeah. You're number 3?
I agree with you on that one.
Number 3, radiation.
Number 3, yeah.
Number 4,
I would say the guy with his head.
Cutting his head.
Yeah.
That's your number 4.
Yeah.
Cutting a piece of your brain is number 4. Alright, then my number 4. Oh, did I already say?
No.
No. Trapping in... Oh, no. The legs.
Right, okay.
Right.
Okay. So we've switched...
1 and 4.
Well, kind of.
Not really. We have different lists. Your 5th one.
My 5th one is probably the guy's arms.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the bones.
Whoa.
Because it's 6, right?
Yes. My 5th one is trapping them in the room with the poison.
Oh, okay.
And then my sixth is the guy undoing the bomb.
Yeah, mine are the opposite way around.
Yeah, because again, the guy not doing the bomb, it doesn't have a payoff. He gets out of it.
Yeah.
So that's the least.
Yeah. I more think of these as like, if I was in that situation, would I, like, you know, they say like the will to live. Would I want to live, or would I just be like, nah, screw it,
He just
I'm
had
done.
some cuts on his hand.
Yeah.
You can live.
I don't know. I don't.
Some bandages you could probably jack off. Like later that day.
With some...
You might need a cast, I don't know. But they need to shape it in such a way that they make a hole.
They make a hole in the cast.
No. Like, you know your fingers?
Oh, yeah.
They make a hole between your thumb and the rest of the finger so you can jack off while you're in the cast. Right? So we're done with that. Well, I'm done with that. Do you have any other things to say about the kills?
No.
Alright.
That's right about it.
I did think there was some weird camera effects. So, you know when like Parker, he gets the gun and he threatens Jigsaw and the lady.
Yeah.
And they walk down the stairs.
Yeah.
It does a very weird pan to the blonde lady.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is not good filmmaking. You know, like, I don't have a problem with the pan. I have a problem in the way it was like sped up.
Yeah.
That and you know when the guy who cuts his brain is like wheeled out.
Yeah.
They do like a crash zoom into him.
Yeah.
That also just felt.
Why?
Yes.
Like, what's the point of that?
But the other thing is, like I was mentioning in the context, this director is not he only worked on the Saw movies. He's not like in other movies. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't had a chance to like experiment and you know, get what's the word, like a cinematic language, you know, like that's specific to him. I think maybe in earlier Saw movies they do something similar, and he's just trying to pay homage to those earlier movies.
Yeah, right.
But I just thought like some of the camera work in this was just not as good as it could have been.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing is, these people are sick pieces of shit.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
Right. Jigsaw says these people kill with false hope.
Yeah.
So I think it provides a good counterpoint.
Yeah.
Because again, Jigsaw Jigsaw will put you in a trap.
Yes.
Where you have the opportunity to be saved.
Yeah. Right.
These people are taking advantage of cancer patients.
Yeah. This is like the lowest of the low.
And like you said, they kill with no hope.
Yeah.
Or with false hope, sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's way more fucked up to to like, honestly, they should have killed him.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, we're not going to cure your cancer, we're stealing your money. Just kill him, throw him in a bush.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that's
you left the Jigsaw killer alive.
Bad idea.
But not just the Jigsaw killer, anyone.
Yeah.
Even if it wasn't Jigsaw, they would have some sort of revenge or like, you know,
someone would come after them.
I really don't have anything to say about Parker.
Yeah.
He's just like, I assumed he was a bad guy. He had a very sinister demeanor about him.
Yeah.
It's, well, yeah, it was supposed to be a twist, right?
Yeah.
I was going to say,
kind of like,
but I always knew there was somebody working with her. It didn't have to be Parker. It could have just been.
Yeah, I
guess he needed alibi to come in to say that, I'm also a fucked over patient, so because they wouldn't have let him in if they assumed he was a bad guy. But when she looked at her phone, I was like, all right, so they know something. We don't know what they knew, but
they know something.
As soon as she looked at the phone, I was like, all right,
cool,
they're one step ahead.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, there's no tension.
There's not for that.
I think the entire last third of the movie has no tension.
Yeah, pretty much.
The reason why being, we know that Saw and his accomplice come back in a later movie. Well, earlier now, but later in the timeline, I mean.
Yeah, right.
So we know they're not going to die.
Yeah.
There was no... That's the thing. Every moment in that last third, I thought, who gives a shit? We know they're going to survive.
Yeah.
The one part I did think where there is some tension is when they bring the kid in.
Yeah.
The thing is, we don't know anything about the kid. He could have been murdered.
Yeah.
So that
is true. Yeah.
With the kid, that gave me 2 minutes of like, oh fuck, what's gonna happen to the kid, right? But then like,
then they bloodboard him for a little bit.
Yeah,
and
but the thing is, Jigsaw stops it from happening.
Yeah,
because you're supposed to see Saw. You get bloodwatered, he gets bloodwatered. You get
and,
Saw was taking it all.
Yeah.
So again, that releases all the tension because you know Saw is gonna survive. I keep saying Saw. His name is Jigsaw.
Well, his name's John.
Yes, his name is John.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was no threat of John dying.
Yeah.
So when he stops the blood going on the kid, I'm like, all right, well,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, it's just the question of how they're going to get out of it, not if they get out or not.
Yeah.
So that last third, I really thought lost a lot of. If they introduced the kid earlier.
Yeah.
But then, if they introduced that lady had to be in charge for them to introduce the kid, right?
Yeah. Right.
So. To some extent, I understand, but
it's a tough one to like pace out correctly. Like,
but the thing is, he was never in trouble. If it was something like, I don't know, we'll give you double cancer. we'll give you super cancer. If
they just put him in front of the radiation thing again.
Yeah, but I just didn't like that loss. Well, I liked how it played out.
Yeah.
The visuals, the sadisticness.
Yeah.
The quote-unquote twist.
Yeah.
Like, all that is good. It's just, like I said, the tension.
Yeah.
Who cares? We know they're going to survive.
Yeah.
But yeah. When Parker dies...
Yeah.
His eyes, like, kind of gloss over.
Yeah, it's a really cool...
It's, like, white. Or, like, I don't know what to call it. Like... I don't know, but it had such a weird, eerie look to it. Like, what the fuck?
I thought it looked really cool.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. But that doesn't mean it's not eerie and creepy. Right?
Yeah.
Then the post-credit scene is of Jigsaw dealing with the guy from the cancer support group who told him about the surgery.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah.
How did that guy survive, you know?
I don't know.
Or do you think he was working for them the whole time?
Yeah, maybe.
Even when he was in the cancer support group, he was like...
Yeah, he was like a bait, I guess. So, like, he goes to the support
but the
group.
thing I'm saying is, since when?
I don't know.
Since before, when you met him in the cancer group? Or, you know?
Yeah, I think he was like...
Or maybe they do actually have a cure for cancer. And they give it to some people.
Oh. But then why wouldn't they give it to...
He's too far gone, right? Do you remember, like, early on they have a phone call?
Yeah.
When they're like, this will get done in... And then she gives him a time.
Yeah,
and
it's
then,
like a couple of weeks
and
or something.
then he says something like, you don't have... Or she says, you don't have 5 months or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, something like that.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just too far gone for the thing to work.
Okay.
So they decided to rob him.
Yeah. But didn't that guy also have, like... He had, like, pancreatic cancer or something. And he was stage 4 pancreatic. Which is also quite hectic. Yeah.
Alright, then he's just a plant. Or he never had cancer and he just...
That's what I'm thinking. He's just like an actor sent there to bring in more patients.
Fair enough. But, your thoughts, because I'm done with the...
Yeah, I mean, it was... They were like... I like the idea that it kind of like... it was kind of like a murder mystery in that... Not actually a murder mystery. Let me explain.
The thing is, we see all the people who fucked him over. And we know him. So it's like, there's no mystery to it.
It's like, you know when he's bloodboarding himself?
Yeah.
And then, like, they go into the room and she takes the bag and the timer starts. So that they, the poison starts filling it, right? I really like the idea that they flash back to him figuring out that they're gonna screw him over.
Yeah.
And so he's already a step ahead of them. And that's how it's revealed.
Okay.
It's not like traditional murder mystery, like a whodunit.
Well, that's kind of all mysteries. Like,
yeah,
when the guy confesses, they flash back to how it was done.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, I like that.
all right, cool.
I mean, I gave it a 9, and the only thing I didn't like about it was that I felt that some of the effects were a little bit meh. Like there was one scene where, you know, the same lady who cut her legs off, her body's just lying there, and then the blonde lady like pulls it towards her so that she can take the intestines. That just looked like a mannequin to me, and I was like, that's not very good.
All right. Well, I gave it an 8.
Okay.
But I'm kind of between a 7 and an 8. But I'm leaning more towards an 8.
Okay.
Because I really like this. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Except for, like I said, some camera work by the director, some plot points that didn't quite match up. Not didn't match up. That just I thought they could have done more with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I've been speaking through the things that I said they could have done, I'm like, oh, that wouldn't work. So maybe they were right this whole time. maybe these people work in Hollywood and they know how to make a movie. Maybe I'm just some jackass. Right. Can we go into the recommendations, or are we done with the?
Yeah, I would say
the New York Times. Then I watched Past Lives.
Okay.
Which I've wanted to watch for a long time.
Yeah.
We mentioned it on the show, right? When we did our half-year kind of roundups, I was saying I'm very excited to watch Past Lives.
Yeah,
because it came out like in January last year.
Yeah.
Or I think it may have premiered at like some sort of festival last year.
Yeah, right.
And then it was released proper in like June.
Okay.
June, July.
Yeah.
And it only came out in cinemas here like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So
it's been a while.
I finally got to watch it.
Nice.
And it's great.
Okay.
It's a sweet love story. I don't want to spoil too much.
Okay.
It's more about friendship than it is love.
Aww.
Sorry to listeners.
Damn.
Yeah. But anyway, I loved it a lot. I gave it a 9.
Not even a 10.
I'm thinking about bumping up to a 10.
Oh, okay.
I want to rewatch it again, like closer to award season.
Okay, yeah.
Assuming this gets award buzz, which I think it will.
Yeah, it should.
Then I watched a TV show called How To with John Wilson.
How To?
It's genuinely incredible.
Okay.
Do you know Nathan For You?
I've heard the name.
I'm sure I've mentioned it.
Yeah.
Like, this guy Nathan, he'll start off with an insane premise, and then like he'll kind of take the show as it goes.
Yeah.
So there's one where he offered free gas.
Yeah.
Right. Petrol, I mean.
Yeah.
Right. They call it gas in America, but
you have gasoline.
You have to fill out this form, and then you have to deposit this form in a particular mailbox.
Right.
And he places the mailbox on top of a mountain. And there's only one mailbox you can do it. So that's his plan, right?
Right.
To drive up gas sales.
Yeah.
Advertise that they're doing 0 for free.
Yeah.
And then when they get there, they have to
do the whole process and
so people would rather just pay for the gas.
Yeah.
So he got a bunch of people to come to this particular
gas station
and then so he has these ideas of how to get a business more customers,
right?
And it's always some insane shit.
Yeah.
Like there's one where he starts like gaslighting children.
Oh no.
He's like, if you don't ask your parents to buy this, you'll be a baby.
Oh no.
And kids take the thing, they go to their parents and I'm like, please buy this. I don't want to be a baby. So he goes on insane things. Nathan Fielder produced this TV show, which is very similar. This guy, John Wilson, is like a documentarian. And he'll pick a subject,
right,
and he'll kind of try to do it.
Yeah.
Or show you how to do it. And similarly, it doesn't follow a script. Like he'll be speaking to someone and they'll be like, oh, you can come to my house and do it. And then like he'll go to the house and he'll go on in the whole adventure, right?
Right. Yeah.
There's 3 seasons of 6 episodes.
Okay.
And they're like half an hour each.
That's pretty nice.
I banged that thing in one afternoon, bro. I went through that whole thing. It was so funny. It's genuinely, because like I said, Nathan Fielder, it starts off with a premise, then goes wildly off track. Yeah. Similarly here, he has like a opening premise and then it goes off track because he's just speaking to people and asking their opinions, and he finds some crazy people. So again, I gave it a 9.
Okay.
Not as funny as Dating for You, which genuine 10.
Yeah.
But yes, I had such a blast with this.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I very rarely do this. I usually speak about when a season starts.
Yeah, right.
But now, both Ahsoka and Only Murders in the Building ended this week.
Yeah, right.
Ahsoka, a lot of people hated that episode.
Oh no.
I thought it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Because this is the thing, it ends on like a, not a cliffhanger, but with a lot of unresolved things.
Okay,
And the idea is that Dave Filoni is making a Star Wars movie that wraps up all the plots from The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and what's the other one? Fuck.
I don't know. I don't watch enough Star Wars.
Mandalorian, Ahsoka. Fuck, I can't remember, right?
Right.
But anyway...
Anyway, yeah.
I'm trying to think what's the other one. Yeah.
That's fine. We'll figure it
The
out
Book
later.
of Boba Fett.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
All those storylines will culminate in a movie.
Yeah.
So this set up a bunch of things that were never paid off.
Yeah.
And that upset a lot of people. Right?
But it's gonna pay off.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? So let's enjoy this cool stuff, and then when it does pay off, it'll pay off, right?
Yeah.
We don't need to.
Bloody instant gratification generation.
Well, I mean, it's the end of the show. You'd assume at the end of the show there'd be some catharsis. Even though we understand that there'll be a follow-up. It's just within the context of the show, there should be a beginning, middle, and end.
Right, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
This just leaves too many open plot threads that people,
It's like, okay, no, it's actually not like that. Never mind.
Alright. Anyway, then Only Murderers. Again, I don't like it as a mystery.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you would have figured out the culprit.
Right.
Because it's like they'll give you information in the last episode that that cracks the whole case wide open,
Yeah.
Like I was speaking about A Haunting in Venice.
Yeah.
They give you enough clues that if you're paying attention, you can put together who the culprit is.
And if you're actually, I'm not going to say that because it's a spoiler.
Alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't like... Again, I find Only Murders like interesting, but it's not funny and it's not a good mystery. Yeah. Then I watched The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar, which is the Wes Anderson...
like short movie.
Yeah, it's a short film.
Short film.
It's based on the Roald Dahl book.
Yeah.
And this is the only Roald Dahl book that I had trouble following along with.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, it's a story within a story within a story.
Yeah.
And if you're reading, that's kind of hard to... Well, I don't know. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Like everyone else on Earth understands it. It's only me that's struggling. But when you see it on screen, and you can obviously tell the different actors, it's much easier to follow.
Yeah. Right.
Obviously, right?
Yeah.
So I truly love this.
Okay.
Far better than Asteroid City, his other movie this year.
Yeah. Right.
I gave this a 9, but I might bump it up to a 10. I'm in between.
Okay. But are your thoughts on Asteroid City biased because of your cinema experience?
Fuck you. And fuck that guy.
I'm just asking.
Alright, I have been meaning to rewatch Asteroid City, so probably at the end of the year when I'm watching Past Lives again, I'll watch
Asteroid City as well, yeah.
But fuck that guy. Listeners, if you don't know that guy, I was eating popcorn while I was watching Asteroid City.
Yeah.
And this guy was shouting at me to stop because the crinkle of the bag when I put my hand in was upsetting him. It was too loud for him.
Yeah.
Mind you, the cinema was basically empty. He could have moved to any other chair.
Yes.
But instead, he came up to me and said, "Hey, do you want to take this outside?"
Yeah.
Threatening to beat me up for eating popcorn. Anyway, you shouldn't waste time me on this, right? Then I watched No One Will Save You. Another horror movie. It's like there's some kind of monsters attacking. Or monster.
Okay.
I don't want to give too much away.
Right.
And we see how this girl survives this scenario.
Oh.
And we're just following her.
Right.
And she has like a lot of guilt. And because of something that happened in the past, we don't know what happened until like later on.
Right, yeah.
And there's very little dialogue in this movie.
Oh, okay.
Right? I think there's like one sentence.
Oh.
Because, okay, sorry, let me take that back. Because there's like, she says stuff to herself.
Right.
Like, calm down or whatever.
Okay.
But there's no dialogue between. I think there's maybe one line that somebody says to someone else.
Right.
Watch the movie and.
Okay.
Right.
That seems like fun. Okay.
But yeah. So it's this girl just surviving her whatever this thing is that's going on.
Yeah, right.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Then I watched Saving Silverman.
Okay.
Do you know what Saving Silverman is?
No.
It's a movie from the very early 2000s starring who the fuck is that guy? He's from American Pie.
I have no idea.
Jason Biggs.
Oh.
Jason Biggs, Steve Zahn, and Jack Black.
Oh.
They're a group of friends.
Right, yeah.
And then one day, Jason Biggs, he's the titular Silverman. Right? He meets this girl that is awful.
Okay.
But they get together.
Oh.
And his 2 friends have to break them up. Well, they don't have to. They want to break them up. Because she's a piece of shit.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
And they take it quite far in this movie. Like, they like fake her death. They capture her, put her in the basement, and then fake her death, right?
That's amazing.
I've definitely been in maybe 4 or 5 Saving Silverman situations. You know?
No.
When your friend is with a girl that's like, again, a piece of shit that like clearly taking advantage of him, you need to do a Saving Silverman.
Yeah.
So yeah. It spoke to me a lot, this movie. Again, I wouldn't fake somebody's death. But yes, I gave that a 7.
What do you mean?
It's not as funny as I thought it could be.
Yeah.
But yeah, great movie.
Okay.
Then this week, Loki season 2 started.
Right.
Which it's been 1 episode, but I like it more than the first season.
Because
the first season is like a mystery.
Right.
This season, everything's revealed now. We can just have a fun show. So the first episode I had a lot of fun with. And very, very excited to see where it goes. I think Loki is one of the better Marvel TV shows and better Marvel projects that's out of the last few years.
Right, okay.
And I think Loki is going to be like the Tony Stark of this universe. Like, of phase 2, he's going to be the main character that's pushing things through.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. He could be like in like a secondary team.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's just my thinking. I assume Doctor Strange is the new lead of the Avengers.
Probably.
But yeah, anyway. The last thing is Panic Room. Again, it's a Fincher movie that I rewatched. I had it as an 8 and I'm keeping it as an 8. Okay. Genuinely great movie. Obviously Fincher. Yeah. We've been going through his filmography. One of the I don't want to say one of the greats. He's not that old.
No.
Right. He started in the 90s.
Yeah, so he's not like...
Yeah, compared to like James Cameron started in the 70s.
Yeah.
Well, I think it may have been 80s. But well, whatever, right?
George Lucas.
Yeah. Not 50s. Like 70s, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the case is, there's a lot of like old masters.
Yeah.
And I would consider Fincher more recent than like a Ridley Scott, like a Michael Mann, Scorsese. The reason I'm bringing those 3 names up is because I'm looking at the list for the rest of the year, and there's these 3 old masters that I'm very excited for.
Okay.
The first being Scorsese's Flowers of the Killer Moon.
Yeah.
It's out in 12 days.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. Yeah.
We may have to cut Spooktober short
to
do Killers of the Flower Moon. The second one is Napoleon by Ridley Scott.
Yes.
Starring Joaquin. Very excited for that.
Yeah.
The third one is, it's a Michael Mann movie. The fuck is the name?
Something.
Whatever, the new Michael Mann movie.
Yeah, right, yes.
Oh no, it's called Ferrari.
Ferrari?
It's called Adam Driver plays Ferrari.
Oh, is it like Enzo Ferrari?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I swear I was thinking about something else as well. Maybe. Whatever.
Yeah. Well.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I've been watching Disenchantment.
The Matt Groening show.
Yeah.
After Simpsons and Futurama.
Yeah.
He made a fantasy show.
Yeah. It's very like
well, I thought of it as like Futurama's the sci-fi show. This is the fantasy show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's kind of like I'm still quite early in it, but I'm enjoying it. It's just kind of ridiculous, stupid stuff that makes you, I don't want to say laugh out loud, but there's a lot of like you know, like when you blow air through your nose, like you see a funny meme and you're like that. It's a lot of that kind of like somewhat funny stuff.
Alright.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's literally it.
Well, thank you for listening. Not you.
Yeah.
The listeners. I mean, I should have left a pause there. Listeners, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, subscribe, give a like, etc.
Give all the likes.
Yeah. Could you please leave a comment if you're listening to this?
Yeah.
Please leave a comment, because I'm wondering if a lot of our downloads are like bots.
Yeah.
Or
Maybe.
I don't know. If you are listening, leave a comment. Send a message to our Gmail.
Yeah.
In the list, the PAICIP.com, there's a option to copy our email address.
Yeah.
So just copy that and paste it in in the what's it?
The address bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The toolbox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Send us an email.
Yeah. So importantly, it needs to be a 5-star review.
It has to be.
Please subscribe on Patreon to listen to our movie commentaries.
Yeah.
You can find all our links at PAICIP.com. That's PAICIP.com. Please tell a friend. Tell that friend to tell a friend. Tell a family member.
Tell everyone.
And I think we're done, yeah?
Yeah.
Alright, bye.
Goodbye.
Au revoir.